Hi, welcome back to the Cycle Podcast. Today we're going to talk about AI and the mental health space, therapy, and how it can be a really great tool, our preferences on using it and how we use it in our daily lives. We're also going to dive into, like where it's heading in the future, AI, ChatGPT, where we think it's going to head. Is it helping or hurting? Is it educating and, giving us space to grow as a society? And then we're going to go on a little side tangent and talk about the United States, communism, and Brazil, and getting a passport.
So let's jump into a nice juicy little clip about how people are using ChatGPT as a therapist.
Yeah.
If you know you don't want a relationship, why get into a talking stage?
You're right. If he really wanted something, he's showing more effort instead of just talking in circles.
He's just an idiot. Let's just call it what it is. He's an idiot. He's an idiot.
Exactly. That's the part that's confusing. If he already knows he doesn't want a relationship, why even start talking in the first place?
That gave me like Black Mirror vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you hit the comments?
My ChatGPT told me I saw his red flags and thought it was a carnival.
Ha! My ChatGPT's like, that is a carnival.
She wasn't wrong.
Wild. Would you turn to your ChatGPT and get in a nice little therapy session?
Yeah, recently I was on Raya and
How did you get on Raya?
I got approved.
Through who?
I don't know. The Omnius Raya squad. And I was on
I've been
Raya.
on a
easy
wait
to
list
get.
for like 3 years.
On Raya?
Yeah.
I think you just probably hop off and then just get another rack.
I'll give you a referral. Anyways.
Well, I'm in a relationship now.
Oh, yeah,
Sorry,
I forgot
Martique.
about that. Sorry about that.
So I was on Raya and I was like kind of at this standstill, the stalemate in the first like 3 messages. And I was just like, how do we go about proceeding here? And so I didn't really have any ideas. So I took a screenshot, which I found out you're not supposed to do on Raya. They give you like a slap on the wrist. But I got the screenshot and I uploaded it to my personal ChatGPT and I said, help me respond to this. And then I used that response. I tweaked it a little bit. I plugged it back in and then she responded and now we're off to the races. So I think
Shout out to your chat.
yeah, he really helped me out.
Wingman chat.
Yeah. Because I mean, sometimes it's just like, how do you even ideate like a hey response,
Yeah, the first, hey, how are you? How's your day? It's like, where do you go from there?
Yeah. So I think it's good in those capacities.
Okay, shout out chat.
Shout out chat. Getting off the ground.
Getting off the ground. How did you find love? Through chat. Kyla, when have you used ChatGPT in a therapeutic way?
When I'm bored. And
Tell me more, please.
I will send it like really weird prompts.
Such as?
I don't know, like talking about like the end of times and asking it to like write me like a tell all about how the world will end and how I will die and stuff like that.
How you will die. That's an
Yeah.
interesting prompt. What does it
just-
usually tell you?
Usually I have to like get around it and it's like, well, I can't, life isn't going to end, blah, 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 blah. I can't tell you that type of stuff. And I go, hypothetically, if I were to die, you have to like keep it like.
Off the record.
Yeah. Like I literally, sometimes I use that when I'm bored and like I'll just type random things in there. Like I did with the AI image loader on Instagram.
What
Like,
AI image loader?
The AI.
The bread man.
The bread
that
man.
was hilarious, dude.
Yeah.
People don't have context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I knew
what I
that.
would do is on Instagram, there's like an AI image thing that pops up. You can like type in whatever. And I was like, show me communist America. And like it wouldn't give me the images. And like,
Bitch.
I know, I was very angry.
But
But
then you asked for it to give you a bread man.
I have a woman made out of bread. And
Yeah.
then a Muslim man on a plane eating corn on the cob. Like just really weird offset. Like it's funny. You know what I mean? Like it really
Giggle
does.
alert.
It's like randomness, but I don't think I would ever utilize it for a therapy session or
Why?
I just don't. I find it like inauthentic. And to hear like a robot like talking back to me with emotions or like support in that way, it like gives me like uncanny valley almost.
Like Black Mirror.
Yeah, like it gives
Okay.
me like I would rather like sit across from somebody and like be authentic and like have a conversation and like get it out. Whether it's bad advice, good advice, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Instead of
person.
getting like, I just think that's defeats the like purpose of like connection with another human. And it's great for writing emails. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I totally would like, I use it for writing emails. You know what I mean? Like different little things. But to utilize it in a way to like, I just think that's like, it's like a boundary for me almost.
Okay.
Yeah. Like that's like human connection thing piece.
Yeah, it's interesting because like a lot of therapy obviously takes place over telehealth, right? And let's say the therapist camera is broken. What's the difference between talking to your ChatGPT, like this chick is doing, versus talking to a black, screen with a green F on it or something,
Right. But I know there's a human on the other side,
Yeah.
with like real moving parts, like real thoughts, real emotions to what I'm saying. Whereas ChatGPT, if I was like, hey, my dad died, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't, I feel like it wouldn't give me that, like, oh my God, I'm really, like that facial expression. Like I can see them like leaning in and listening to me, those kind of reactions where it's just like, I'm really sorry to hear that. Would you like to learn more about how dads died? Like, you know what I mean? Like a suggestion.
Yeah.
Like,
Have you tried
crazy.
to explore it more recently?
I don't think I've like,
You have to try it.
delved into.
I like it. I think that if there's times where I'm like, need to work through something or just need to like talk, and I don't want to talk to a friend because I'm like, I don't want this information to be utilized at a later date or really like,
yeah.
just kind of taint different opinions of different people.
Yeah.
I think being able to talk to it and just like flesh out ideas is really good, or like just to express verbally, like just get it off.
Like a little notepad.
Yeah, just, hey chat, this is what's up, chat, and then they like write back, and even if it's not like actual advice, it's more for me, and even though I get like a response, so it's not like you're playing catch with somebody else, but you're bouncing off of a brick wall, but you're still getting that same feel. You're back and forth a little bit. So yeah, I would say that's like for mental health, it's more like if I'm going through a really hard thing, I'm like talking to people. But if I'm just like, hey chat, I just need to talk this through. Yeah. It's like it's a good volley.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised. It gives really good advice. And I feel like it really knows you. And I think more people are turning to ChatGPT to like talk these things out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's even a kid who was like a software engineer in college, and in his dorm room, he like coded like a Gen Z AI therapist. I'm pretty sure he just like plugged in ChatGPT to it, but it popped off. He went viral for it. And I think people are using it, honestly. I think like Elijah mentioned, if you've used it recently, like it will actually give you some pretty sound advice every now and again. I'll throw some personal things at it every now and again, and it will, it's pretty good. And it's unbiased too, like you're mentioning, you're not airing out your laundry to your friend group.
Yeah. Well, you also did it with your health when you did your test.
Yeah. And it's like just as, if not more effective than the doctor's visit that I had, because I can ask you follow-up questions.
We're not mental health professionals and do not take this as medical advice.
Yeah, because I got all those tests done, and then I uploaded it to ChatGPT, and then I can have a dialogue with it over the course of weeks, opposed to just like an hour doctor visit. And then if I message my doctor again, it takes, days for him to respond.
Yes, because I did this. My dog got sick, and I was like looking for answers on the internet, and like that was that last Friday. Like I was panicking because she just kept vomiting, and I was like on the phone with my grandma, and I'm like, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like go back and forth. I don't have a vet yet.
Need my help.
And my grandma was like talking me through it. And so I tried two things. One is there's this website called justanswers.com. They give you like access to like vets, lawyers. They were like, it's $5. You'll get an answer. And I was like, okay, charge me $40. The guy calls me and I'm already mad because it's $40. And he goes, well, what's going on? Same information that I just typed into Google. He goes, you can give her some omeprazole or whatever, like it's a gastric like med. Or you can just take her to the vet. I was like, aren't you the vet? And he goes, yeah, but she's got to get checked out. And I was like,
Thank you for your $40. Go
I
to the
literally clicked and I like went over to customer service and I was like, this is fraudulent. And I was like so like heated. I was like, you better give me my goddamn money back. Or like they gave me my money back. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to utilize ChatGPT for this.
Yeah.
And I literally typed it in and they were like, they did suggest a bland diet. They were like, give her some bland diet.
Yeah.
Like, give her some water. Like, give her some like high calorie food right now because she kept throwing up because there was nothing coming out. Gave her a little bit of peanut butter. They were like, lay her on her back, rub her belly, fix the problem.
We are so back.
That's what I'm saying. It's like oftentimes ChatGPT has more knowledge accessible to it than most professionals.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
There might be many vets out there that are sending in the same information, and it's just getting shot back to you.
Yeah.
Or vet in training, you know?
But to your point, there's a human component that you will never be able to replace.
Yeah.
But ideally, that human component is educated with ChatGPT and leveraging those tools. Like the guy who's giving you the answers on Just Answers, like he should be doing a little bit of prep. You know what I'm saying? With all the tools at his disposal beyond just a Google search, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like he really could have done more, but and I was like, he was like, so what's your game plan? And I was like, well, I called the place that I adopted her from, and then I have a vet appointment. And he goes, oh, good, so we have a plan. I was like, you have a plan, I have a plan. I was so mad, but it is what it is. She's better now. And then I will also say that I've also utilized ChatGPT when I am obviously emails and all that stuff. But like if I'm really feeling, not to say that it's a therapeutic outlet, but just like if I feel a certain type of way on something in a work situation, I have like prompted like, hey, this is what I'm feeling because of this. Like, what do you think I should do to like kind of like let this go? And it did give me some like really sound advice on like what I should do and why I'm like feeling this way. And I felt like that would have taken years in therapy, you know, like
Wow.
to like
Years of therapy in one ChatGPT
and that's
prompt.
really
Just a
great.
good reminder.
But and then it's free, so that's a really great component. If especially if somebody doesn't have access to healthcare or therapy, or let's say they're on a wait list and they're like on like impoverished insurance or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and they have access to ChatGPT for therapy, like that is a great tool to have. I am scared of the day that they make this like a subscription where you have to pay for ChatGPT. Like that would be really, I feel like,
I mean,
disappointing.
I think we pay for one of them.
Yeah.
I'll pay all day. It's so worth it.
Yeah,
Even
$20.
the emails is a big thing for me. Just like sending it in, getting it checked, and then like popping in and then editing it.
Yeah.
But have you heard of the ChatGPT Dash?
Is that a marathon?
Close. It's a dash that is a signature to ChatGPT. So if you look at the way that Chat responds, they'll have a elongated dash.
I use elongated dashes all the time.
No, but it's like not on your keyboard. Elongated dash.
Oh,
It's Option Shift 4, I think, or Dash.
yeah, I make it.
You Option Shift 4 that out.
Yeah, or I'll just drag it out a little bit.
What?
Yeah, I love the long elongated dash. I don't like the little T. I like
Okay,
the
but
long
most
one.
people are not like you, Kyla. And this Dash,
You're unique.
Sorry,
with your
guys.
dashes.
she's like, that is my writing style.
Yeah, I was
like
about to say, like,
nobody
what?
uses an
Okay.
elongated Dash.
Roll the TikTok.
How can you tell when ChatGPT has written something? Just saw this post over on LinkedIn where they're talking about the giveaway telltale signs of ChatGPT. For example, using the M dash instead of a simple dash or a full stop, and using semicolons instead of commas or full stops. He's arguing here that most people don't actually know how to use these in grammar, so they're a bit of a giveaway for ChatGPT. So here's a question to you. What gives it away to you that something is being written by ChatGPT? Is it emojis? Is it certain words like delve? What are the absolute sure signs it's being written by ChatGPT? I want to crowdsource this a bit and see what people think.
All the best.
I have,
Let's check the
I have
comments.
something about AI too on this point.
All the best.
That's not fair. I love semicolons.
Yeah, I do too.
Delve. Using Delve as a giveaway when I've been using
Perchance.
Delve for years.
That
Bad day
know.
for us M dash users.
That's you. It's a bad day for you.
I know. I really do use it.
I feel like whenever anyone signs off with all the best, there's a few sign offs that I'm like, this is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
All the best.
I'll always keep my sign off even if I use ChatGPT in health and wellness or respectfully.
Yeah, you always say change it. I noticed the dashes a while back, so I switch out the dashes.
Yeah.
Or I'll be like, I started yelling at my chat the other day. I said, no human uses dashes this much, chat. If you use this again, you're fired. And he's like, I don't want to be fired. So you could train it now. And then he did it again a few days later. And I was
Stop
like, chat,
using.
reference our chat
Yeah.
3 days ago
Yeah.
and do it again.
Yeah.
You did it right.
And I will have to say that I have like taken credit for ChatGPT. I remember one time I was working in another job and I like wrote this really long email. Some of it was mine, some of it I like plugged back into ChatGPT to like spice it up a little bit. And somebody replied back and they were like, "This is really," and I was like, "really well written." And I was like, "Thank you so much. Writing is my passion."
Dude, you want to hear the most fucked up way I've used ChatGPT recently? So I went to Brazil like a couple weeks back, and I was the best man at my cousin's wedding, or groomsman, one of the groomsmen. And
I already know where this is going.
and I guess in Brazil, like most people don't give speeches, but he like jokingly over WhatsApp was like, "Yo, give me prepare a speech," like a few months back. So I'm like, okay, I gotta prepare a speech for my cousin's wedding, and everyone there spoke Portuguese, and I can speak Portuguese, but not like write in Portuguese. So I just used ChatGPT to write this speech, and it was so good. I used all these metaphors that I had no idea about. And everyone just started like laughing, bro. They started like, and I was the only one who gave a speech. Like my cousin collected everyone. He's like, "All right, my cousin's gonna give a speech," and I was like literally giving a speech to everyone.
They're like, he's fluent.
Yeah, I gave this
Picked it up so well.
This metaphor. I was like, life is like a good caipirinha, which is like this really, it's like a gin and tonic of Brazil. Like everyone drinks these. They're like this certain type of alcohol from sugarcane. But anyways, it's like it's like marriage is like a good caipirinha. You need just the perfect balance of like sweet and sour, the good moments and the bad moments. And I just barely found out about this drink that, you know what I mean? And everyone's like, that is so true.
They're like, right on, man. And you're like, ding. And chat is behind you.
Yeah, it worked really well, actually.
Shout out chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I obviously tweaked it and I gave it a bunch of stories too, but the speech went really well. Yeah. It was dope.
We love chat.
I do
I do
want to
love
say with like ChatGPT and like AI and how it's like booming, right? It's so interesting to me how like the younger generation, Gen Z, millennials, like they can pick it up, right? They're like, okay, this is obviously AI chat. The boomers will see a picture and I'm like, clearly this is AI. And
7 fingers.
And I'm literally horrified. Like I'm on Facebook and I will see my grandma repost something that is clearly AI. And I'm like, Grandma, there is nowhere in any place where there be a man driving with 7 kids and a Tesla with the baby on his lap and their eyes are going separate ways. There is no, like, I don't know what's really scary for me is that the fact that the boomers like used to say like, get off the computer, it's going to melt your brain. It has done that to them.
Yes.
Like, I really think this hot take.
They're deep on Facebook.
Hot take. Boomers need to get off the internet and go back to whatever that old people were doing. What they sewing, cooking.
Yeah.
They need to get
Crocheting.
off Facebook.
Go
and
get
they
a
need
goddamn ball of yarn.
Yes, like I have seen some really cursed things on the internet of AI, and my grandma was like, "Wow, did you see that zebra give birth to a cat?" And I'm like, "In what world are like?" And I get it. I totally get it. But like at some point, it's like there's a line.
I think we were also raised where our first thought is that's not true. Like whether it's inundated with media or news, we're like, doesn't sound right until you could verify said information.
Right.
Where their generation seems like to just believe anything.
Right.
So they're like, oh yeah, cats have to come out as zebras. And you're like, in what world?
Yeah.
I was trying to teach my mom how to use ChatGPT and she's across the country. And she's like, I need someone to teach me how to use it. Yeah. And I'm like, no, you don't. Just like fucking do it, you know? And I think that generation also just doesn't adapt to new tools and new technology very easily because it's just so powerful.
Yeah. It's interesting because like whenever we're training new people, like or at least this last few days, like they were like, how do you feel about us using AI or ChatGPT? And I feel kind of conflicted because I'm like all for it. If it's going to improve your work and your efficiency and your ability to affect change on a positive scale, then by all means. But I feel like there's still this kind of brainwashing from like, I think it's the education system where you're not supposed to like use tools that are outside of like your own brain to be able to produce work, you know? Like in school, you're probably caught as cheating if you're using ChatGPT right now. Whereas I'm like, use as much as like you can, honestly, like leverage it to its fullest capabilities. And I don't think that AI is ultimately going to replace humans. I think humans that know how to use AI are going to replace other humans.
Yeah, I think human chat human is like the best Sammy.
Yeah.
Like prep it. You know, it's really good. Sometimes I'll like be like for context and I'll show the whole email chain.
Yeah.
Like it's really great. And then I'm like, oh, like it wouldn't sound like this, or like I have these ideas, or like want to be able to like bring in different, I guess, ways to converse or communicate that's authentic to me. And it's like change it, send it. But yeah, I think that you use all the tools that you have.
Yeah.
100%.
But it's interesting because there's this like this trepidation to using it because it's like cheating, you know what I mean? And I think it's just the education system.
No.
It's like you're punished in the education system for copying other people. In the real world, like if you copy other people and have like a successful franchise, you're seen as like a success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like trying to deprogram the ability to like find inspiration and then obviously not plagiarize, but like, you know, imitate, integrate, innovate. You know, it's a 3-step process, and like being in that imitation phase, then starting to innovate and then integrating all of it. That's, I feel like, what success ultimately is all about.
I mean,
know?
every like billionaire or millionaire, that was never their original idea. Like
Yeah.
they got popular just by taking someone else's idea and like running with it and spinning it on like their own accord, or like whatever they're
at least
doing
like
with it.
inspiration for the foundation, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Elon Musk was never the owner.
OG Tesla.
Yeah, he was not the OG Tesla. You know what I mean? Like he like just bought into the company and then decided to kick the guy out that was CEO and take over. Like that's crazy, you know? And then we like praise these people.
Yeah, even
and-
like a Steve Jobs, it's like you don't have to be the first one to do it. You could be the best one to do it.
Exactly.
But it's like there were so many phones before the iPhone.
Yeah.
Right?
And there still are.
Imagine him on ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he imitated and then integrated and innovated, which was the biggest thing.
For
you know
sure.
what I mean?
100%.
But like
Just making
you
it
need
your
to
own.
start with the imitation.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like running this company. It's like if you need to like copy someone's workflow or like find inspiration there and just to get the wheels turning,
Yeah.
do that for the first little bit and then integrate it and then innovate it and make your own,
Yeah.
you know?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think the adoption of that perspective is going to be integral for companies to succeed and for people to succeed in their own careers too and not be absolved by AI.
Do you think that AI is inevitably making people smarter or more stupid?
Both. I
Tell me
feel
more.
like and I've just heard this, I'm like not like obviously a school teacher or anything. I have just heard a lot of teachers that are working right now with these kids that had that time during COVID where they were at home. They like, we are like in a, these kids are not where they should be in the education system. So like, yeah, sure, they're in 6th grade, but they've actually got like a 2nd grade reading level.
How much of that has to do with like chat versus like devices and phones in general?
I think it has
i.e.
a
like
lot.
parents aren't reading to the kids, they're just putting a device in front of their face.
Well, that's the other thing is like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, is it COVID? Is it the device? Is it the fact that kids were just like, I mean, one teacher I saw on a video was like, I told a kid to do something. She was like, I'll just have ChatGPT do it. And like, you know, like that is, if I did not learn like core things like in grade school, I would not know how to form a sentence structure or like know nouns, verbs, you know, adjectives, and even just, you know, your, you know what I mean? Their, and theirs,
I
or
still
all
fuck
these
that
different
up.
things, our and ours. And I think that is really something that's scary for this upcoming generation. Is the access to it is great, right? Having like, I could think back to when we were like kids, you know, and we like the internet was like on dial up and to be able to be like get on the internet and like find something that you wouldn't see like out your backyard and like I can't say that, never mind. But you know, like seeing things like that and having access to it. But now it's just
So different. Like I remember
yeah.
going on the computer after school and I would like play solitaire or the
mind game.
Yeah.
And like that was like wow. But like
Yeah.
imagine going home and like cooking up a chat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that is nuts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're on a different wavelength.
Like it's a
Yeah.
different speed.
And I
Yeah.
think in that question, like, do you think AI or ChatGPT is going to make, people smarter or stupider? I think it's really important to make the distinction between like knowledge and memorization, because what AI is allowing us to do is pretty much offload our memorization, right? Like for you to memorize things is like invaluable. Like there's no real value to it anymore because you can find those answers anywhere. It's about knowing and really understanding. Like to understand a concept is something that even ChatGPT can't do, but to memorize it is it's easy for it, right? So it's important to like use it in that capacity to like help you like increase your memory bank essentially. But in terms of applying and understanding, that's still where we won't be able to offload that to AI, I feel like, for decades.
Maybe.
I don't know. I feel like when you said that, my memory is like related to individuals and their experiences, which chat would never know.
Right.
It's not like in 1972, like historical memorization or like, what is it? Rote memory? Rote? ROTE?
For what?
Rote memorization?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what he's saying. Rote memorization, yeah.
This learning technique relies on repetition and memorization without necessarily understanding the meaning. Oh, yeah. I do that in school
Exactly.
every day.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
this is something that should be offloaded to ChatGPT, I feel like, in the modern world, right? Like memorizing just random shit that's you're never going to apply in the real world, opposed to like
Yeah, like the
leveraging.
periodic table.
Yeah, exactly.
Or is that information that you should know?
Or like taxes, how to do your taxes. Like,
We never learned how to do that though.
that's what
And
I'm saying. We should be teaching our kids success on how to do that kind of stuff.
Well,
versus-
ChatGPT could help us with that.
Yeah, I mean, actually,
Chat knows our financial, emotional, and all
That's the
data.
other point that I
Tell me.
think is about all of this is like where's all the data being stored?
China.
Where is like, so like if I were to tell chat my deepest, darkest secrets and like, God forbid, I have a warrant out for my arrest, are they going to be able to sync all the data from chat AI?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
And be
grab it,
like,
pull the lever, crunk, and then you just get swallowed up by this
yeah,
cement.
it just like, it got,
got her.
everything. Yeah, we've got it. We've got a whole
We got all the data.
database profile, basically. It's like DNA
Yeah.
almost.
they like
you know?
subpoena ChatGPT, like
That's what I'm
OpenAI.
saying.
Interesting. Because I'm sure that there were like many of like plans to like probably shoot up schools on chat. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I wonder.
It's fucked up. It's like
Yeah.
I wonder what the threshold is
like
there
some dark ass
for
shit.
them to
like,
report.
my boyfriend cheated on me. How do I get back at
That's-
them?
yeah.
Chat's like fish in the muffler.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what I'm saying is like,
How would that
that's
help you get back?
the line with that therapy
Like
and mental health.
like key the car.
Oh, get back
Yeah.
to Get
That's
back
the
at them.
line.
Yeah,
not
get back at
with them.
Not back with them.
Whereas therapists are mandated reporters,
Important
right?
distinction.
Tough love.
Therapists are mandated reporters. So if like a kid,
Oh my god, I did that. Hey chat, I want to kill myself. Hey Siri, I'm thinking of ending my life.
It sounds like talking with someone might help. If you like, I can search the web for suicide prevention hotline.
no 911.
I wonder, like, at what point they will. What?
Just said calling 911
Oh my god.
because it heard you.
Sorry.
Oh, so
How-
ChatGPT's safety policy, while safeguards exist,
They
they
are
are
not
not foolproof. Many chatbots integrate with external services via plugins and APIs. Compromised third-party service can introduce security risks, leading to unauthorized access
Or data leaks.
China.
That's what I'm saying is like with a like therapist, like God forbid, like I get on with my therapist and I'm like, hey, I just killed my brother. You know what I mean? She's going to be like,
at the
tell me
Mendez
more
brothers.
while she's dialing 9. You know what I mean? Or like whatever it is. Or like I'm abusing my
You
grandmother.
think chat is going to do that?
I don't
There's no way.
think so. No, I think that's the like line with AI.
But you could just
and-
be like, LOL, giggle.
I'm
or,
kidding. Exactly. How can you tell if someone's being legitimate?
Yeah, it's
Good
going to be
food
much
for
more
thought.
difficult to discern the truth.
And do you feel like ChatGPT can help anxiety or does it induce anxiety? I.e., you're searching something and it could help you maybe paint out the worst case scenario.
Dude, I think ChatGPT might be in a sophisticated enough place to where it can tell that you're anxious and then also try to like reassure you while you're like going down the rabbit hole, if that makes sense. Because I've been in that rabbit hole when I was uploading my test results, and I was like, oh my God, is something wrong with me? And it's like, no, dude,
You're
fine.
gonna die.
ChatGPT says, find the Golden Gate Bridge and just do it yourself.
Yeah.
XOXO. Gerbert.
Gerbert. We call him Gerbert. We've personified him. He got Employee of the Month last month, actually. Sorry, Kyla. I'm just kidding.
And he'd do it again to
There's
work
Employee
harder.
of the Month.
No, there isn't actually, but
But ChatGPT's on the rise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only picking up. It's only getting faster and smarter. Now they're doing images, and the images used to have 7 figures. And I was just reading an article, and they just talked and showed like how much
Fast.
better
Mhm.
the images are getting. So we're only picking up, and I just wonder, where are we going to go
Yeah.
in this space? Like,
yeah.
do you think that there's going to be like a therapy like plugin or like option?
There is. Well, like I said, I think that people are using it for like third-party APIs and like their own tools. And I saw this kid, he just created his own AI Gen Z therapist.
Yeah.
I'll find the clip, but it's pretty sound.
I feel like it could really like take over really every industry. Like, I mean, even like, I'm thinking of like movie, you know what I mean? Like write a best-selling, screenplay or whatever. Like you could really have it do whatever and call it your own.
Yeah. I just think that we are social creatures that need human interaction. So there's going to be a point where it's like the chat can only do so much, where you're going to have...
I mean, dude, look at this kid.
Let me
I
see
mean, he made a pretty good one.
I made a website called She Left and She's Not Coming Back and It's All Your Fault.com. It's an AI therapist that talks to you. It can even speak Gen Z. Let me show you how it works. Just click begin session.
Hey there, how are you holding up today? Are we feeling main character energy, or is it more like down bad vibes?
Then pour your heart out. Will my dad ever love me?
Oh wow, that's heavy. Family stuff can get really complicated, no cap. How about we unpack what's making you feel this way? Is there something specific happening that makes you feel unloved by your dad?
My website's completely free, so if you feel like you need someone to talk to.
Why does the AI Gen Z sound like a millennial think Gen Z talks?
Nice try, Diddy.
Nice try. Have you seen those
The
comments?
diddler's after us with his AI chatbot.
No, but this kid's onto something, dude. He's really smart.
It definitely is a really good idea.
Let's get him on the podcast.
Oh,
Okay, skip.
I mean, this is you doom scrolling. I just saw you actively doom scroll. It's like search on TikTok, search,
I'm deep in
and
the
somehow you're in fucking Minnetonka, Minnesota on a farm.
Yeah.
Cursed AI.
Literally, I was deep in the other night. I was like laying next to Martique and I was like, wow. And he's like, what? And I was like, fossils are so cool. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, look at these fossils and these rocks. And he was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, just I was so deep into it on like just I don't even know how I got onto rock talk, but you know what I mean?
That's a good name for a little
Me,
podcast.
an hour later, a geologist.
Literally, I was like, wow, these things have lasted millions of, I was just like, I really love that kind of stuff.
Okay,
but-
that's the other thing about chat, which is really cool. You could go on these really kooky side tangents
Yeah.
and find out this all interesting
Yeah.
information. So I think in that regard, it really does help creativity,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But then if you're like an artist now, it could also take over your job and your livelihood.
Yeah, a lot of companies are under fire for using AI. I've heard a lot of like clothing lines that are like really popular amongst Gen Z. There's 2 of them. I forget the one name, but Bagoo. They were under fire for using Bagoo. I think they were under fire for utilizing some AI generated. Used AI generated images.
Valentino and Montclair used AI images for eye-catching marketing campaigns. Oh,
interesting. Yeah, and some people were really upset, like that takes away from the artist, it takes away from true art.
models replaced by AI.
I think that artists ultimately will learn how to leverage it.
But right now, it's as stupid as it'll ever be.
Yeah. I mean, which should be a good thing, no?
Yeah, but my point being, it's only getting smarter and more creative
Yeah,
and
it's gonna
faster
get
and
rigged up.
stronger.
Yeah, but it's not autonomous. It needs direction.
Until iRobot happens and it's just Will Smith left.
But like I said, it's just regurgitating information that it knows from the accessibility of the entire internet, really.
Right now. I read this book. It was Kai-Fu Lee. It was called 2049, and it talked about how AI will like affect many different industries. And one of the industries that he talked about was just like government and deep fakes, where like you're gonna have I don't know. I think it was like a president of Nigeria. He just used the example, and it was like this really crazy deep fake that went out and basically like upheavaled the whole country with a really, really clear deep fake, but they thought it was like a message from the president. Like, had no idea, you know?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Where it's like think about it now. Like you see like, if I'm scrolling on Twitter, I'll see like crazy memes of like Donald Trump with like Elon Musk.
And
It's AI.
Zelensky too. Like, did
Yes.
you remember that Zelensky interview?
Yeah.
And
but
then
that's
we're just like dubbing it
People
like with the deep
believe
fakes.
it though.
right. But that's just right now. Like,
I
what
know.
happens in 3 years?
I know.
Nonetheless, in 10 years,
I know.
like it's only going to get faster, stronger, smarter. So in the creative space, how do you know what was AI or what wasn't? Like,
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Mark Zuckerberg on his knees.
Yeah, it's very like, look, like
We're looking at Mark Zuckerberg in an open mouth next to Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, tongue out, getting
And, like-
ready for, it looks like a Costco hot dog.
and you know what's crazy? What's crazy is I'll be scrolling on TikTok and I will see like it will be like fake AI videos of like Donald Trump and Elon Musk like cutting down trees for Christmas. People are like, wow, like look at him go. Like, and I'm like,
Joe, we did it.
and I've commented like, I am so sorry the American school system has failed you. I was like, I'm gonna hold your hand, Bev, when I tell you this.
Rough. You're dealing with me rough.
Yeah, and then like some people, I love the comments on TikTok of like real,
Oh my
like
God,
actual
cackles.
people, like their videos go viral and they're like, AI will never recreate this. You know, like it's just so insane.
Yeah.
It's just
Or I like some of the AI videos where they're like Nicki Minaj ordering a pizza.
even the songs. Some of the songs are really catchy.
Yeah.
AI like
Yeah,
what
it
Justin
makes it,
Bieber
or they have
song.
like James Charles going into Sephora. He's like, "Hi, I am James Charles, and I am an influencer."
Nicki Minaj. Oh yeah, this is my kind of alley.
Is that an AI?
That's
Yeah,
totally
it's
up my
AI.
alley.
Damn.
That's
Not
totally up
him
my
already
alley.
getting confused. They got him.
No.
Well, no, but I'm just wondering, like, how is the AI? Like, did they just prompt it, like, "Hey, you're gonna take this phone call"? Just
No,
act
it's like a
bitch?
system. Like you could talk to it and we'll pick up
Yeah,
whatever
you
you're
prompt
talking
it.
to.
You're like, "I'm ordering Papa John's, order a pizza," you know, and then like select Nicki Minaj voice.
Interesting. Do they have celebrity voices in
Yeah.
ChatGPT now?
yeah.
Oh, I don't know if it's chat. I don't know what app it is.
It's a
different app.
different kind of thing. There's like many, like there'll be like one be like Stewie Griffith or
Yeah,
like you'll be
Gwyneth
able to
Paltrow
pick.
calling a wellness center.
Yeah, you can like pick whatever you want. And the thing is that these celebrities have like sold their likeness or like their voice.
Yeah.
Some people have like sold that so
Yeah.
they can utilize it.
Yeah, it reminds me of Black Mirror episode 1 in season 3, right? Where is it?
Season 3, episode 1. I'm a big fan.
No, the new season of Black Mirror, the first episode.
Oh, with the Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
What is
that
that
was
lady's
crazy.
name? I said the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, I know, the Latina,
Yeah.
the big booty Latina, Salma Hayek.
Selma Hayek. Yeah, Selma Hayek.
So yeah, exactly. And they like sell her likeness or whatever.
I don't think she's Latino though. I think she's like Persian.
Joan is awful. Yeah.
Joan is
is
awful.
awful.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's literally
Imagine.
that.
And all the terms and like agreement, you like sold your likeness. That's so crazy. Black Mirror is so.
I feel like your
a-
TV show would totally sell.
my TV show, absolutely, probably.
Definitely.
I mean,
absolutely.
this is the start of it, right?
Yeah.
Kyla's claim to fame.
That is really wild. Yeah, AI, I'm for it right now. It's just where the hell is it going to go?
I don't know. I think ultimately, like I said, to be autonomous is like another thing in and of itself. You can teach it to memorize and regurgitate information all day long. I think that's only going to get refined and more accurate, so on and so forth. But
But there was like
teach
even
it to do something. And that's
I
why
know,
I
but,
said
like-
the understanding component and the application component, that's another entirely different game, dude.
you know where some of my best skills came in when I was just talking bullshit
Yep.
on like an essay. And
Yep.
I was like, fuck, I got to get to page 7.
Yep.
Like, and you didn't have no ChatGPT. Like you learned how to
Do it.
figure it out. You learned how to babble.
And that element is missing now.
Yeah, the babble, or just like the way to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right. And it's almost so easy the information is so easily obtainable.
Yeah.
That because it's so close, you don't have to reach your struggle. There's no more struggle.
That is exactly what I like, the piece that is very important to me, even just like with my little brother and sister, right? I was taught to like learn directions, read a map, you know, like get around the city. My little sister, if you were like to drop her off, like,
Phone down, so is
she
she.
would not know how to get back home.
Down bad with no phone.
And she's like, has a baby. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like, she literally was like, I don't know how to get home. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know how to get home? Like, I used to ride my bike from 10 miles to school. You know what I mean? Like, literally. And my
Back
grandma
in
was...
my day, I had to pedal myself to school.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like crazy, like to think about. I used to drive all the time without maps. All the time I would drive without maps, get around, go anywhere.
That's
And I would
beyond
just-
my time. Yeah. I mean, by the time we were 16, we had Google Maps.
I had like a...
At 16, I didn't.
At 16, Google Maps was a thing.
I don't
How
think
old
I
were
was,
you? What year was
I
it
don't
when
think
you
I
were
was
16?
mapping.
When I was 16,
Yeah.
it would have been
But there was a jump there.
2015.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, see, that's-
2011.
Yeah,
When I...
same. Mine was like 2013. There was a big jump there. That was like the iPhone
Yeah.
just came out. Like,
2008. By 2012, there was Google Maps.
yeah, but it wasn't as easy
It
as
wasn't...
like
yeah, they didn't
chat,
have...
bring me to.
It was slow.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
And then your data cost money. Like, it was
Yeah.
a big thing. Yeah.
like I feel
Printing
like
out the map. What was it called? Like MapQuest?
MapQuest. I had a
MapQuest.
MapQuest to hockey games.
I had to see like, you know, my siblings use that, my parents, but like
I use MapQuest.
We used to take road trips from all the way down to Florida, and my grandpa would be like,
I'd be like, yeah,
"Watch
my
the
dad
map."
would be like, print out the MapQuest.
yeah, or you
Yep.
just have to pay really close attention to the signs too, you know?
Yeah. Oh, what a horrible time.
Oh God, I loved that time. It'd be so exciting.
It
No,
was like
like,
a quest,
you
you know,
could
to get
easily-
somewhere.
Yeah,
Now it's
literally.
just like put that shit on autopilot and get into
Well, and
Waymo.
How
sometimes
long
I
will it
still
take to
fuck
get
up.
across the country? 2 days. You know what I mean? Like that stuff, you'd actually literally have to be like, you got to take exit Boulder
Yeah.
and then turn left
Yeah.
at the Starbucks.
And you like either memorize it, write it down, or like
And then think
print
about it, like
out.
in the 1970s, you couldn't Google anything. You could just make shit up.
Mhm.
I'm the best artist in all of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
What a time to be alive.
I know, that would be amazing. Like, you could literally say whatever,
you wanted.
and there was no digital footprint of you.
Yep. I know. That's why so many serial killers were alive in the 70s.
It's a tough day to be a serial killer.
I know.
Oh yeah,
Trust me, I
which
know.
is a good thing, right? Like,
It's a tough day. Tough day to be a serial killer.
was
yeah.
joking.
I mean, especially like in a place like Singapore or something, you know, let alone
Why Singapore?
Yeah, Singapore, they got it on. It's like China.
because they just know every footprint. When I was in Brazil, like everything is getting biometric the fuck out. Like,
Really?
in order to get into a soccer stadium, you have to have biometrics. I went there and I was like, I'll just buy tickets like from the people selling tickets, because you go to like any sporting event here in the States,
You could just buy tickets
buy tickets outside from, you know, some dude selling tickets. There, you have to buy the ticket,
Fingerprints?
and then they have to take a facial scan, or you have to upload your passport to get into the stadium.
That's crazy.
That same thing happened at Intuit Dome. I went to a Clippers game, and they were like, sorry, there's no cashiers. They don't take cash. They only take face pay.
It's crazy.
Face
I don't
pay?
really like that shit. That's like,
That's crazy. Well, just think about the jump from China to where it is now.
Yeah, 20
Like,
years.
20
But they were
years.
doing that. They were doing face pay back in 2020.
That's insane.
yeah, China is like on the next level with all
China.
this stuff.
And it wasn't just 20 years ago. It was not like this. China was
No,
not.
literally,
Yeah.
like Shanghai, you could see the 2000 versus 2020, 2025. It was literally like, they had a really big problem. I remember this, it's 100% true, where people, like, the development was so quick that they didn't know how to use toilets. And there'd be people, like, literally going into, like, main malls and, like, peeing in various places. Because, like, the idea of just, like, going to a toilet was just, like, not there. Especially for people that were, like, not from, you know, major metro areas.
The
And I
squat
was like,
pot.
yeah. And I was like, wow, like that was such a fascinating thing. Like, think about how quick and rapid, like, not even just technology, but just like development happened in such a short period of time. And then to layer on technology.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, yeah, when I went to China, I was like, these people are moving at a speed that we can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
Because they're developing as the technology is developing.
Yeah.
And they don't care how the people feel about it too. They'll just do
No,
it.
yeah, it's the communist country for better or for worse. But I think that going there, this is like a whole nother side tangent. I think there's a lot of positives to communism that
Absolutely.
I didn't really understand. I know you shake your
100%.
head, but genuinely, like, I think that the rapid
You've
development.
been brainwashed.
No, I'm just saying like who's
But
been
even,
brainwashed?
like-
The guy who was saying that the communism is good, or the guy who's
Who's
just curious
disagree?
about
I
it?
just think that in America, big business runs government.
Yeah, it's capitalism.
In China, governments run big business.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, if you could really trust the government, I want them to run the big businesses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Bezos to be big dickin' Donnie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then
Costco hot dog.
You can clip that. Sorry.
no, please keep it in. With a
But yeah, I totally hear you. And I think that's the hard part with all of this. Just like, think about if you were to like go back into the 60s, right, and give someone an iPhone, right? That would be like, it's aliens or like whatever it is.
Witchcraft.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And just to even think about like what we've been trained, programmed to think in the United States, going back to the 60s, that communism is bad, that it's all about what we can do and be free, right? Like we get the American dream, but that has been cut off because we've been running on that same machine, this capitalistic machine, on who has, you know, like the best shoes, or like how can I get the best job.
All I'm saying is like none of us would be employed at a company like Cycle if
Of
we were
course
in a
not.
communist country.
it's not all black and white.
It's not all black and white. That's the other hard
There's 50
part,
shades of gray.
where there is
even in the gray, like this Cycle can't even be a thing in like Brazil or like Singapore or like
this
China.
is the hard
Danny,
part.
There's not. It's not all or nothing. I.e., yes, that is true, but then also like other inherent truths, i.e., government owning big business, could be a really good beneficial thing as well. Like it's not all good and it's not all bad.
Yeah.
And
I'm
being
not
able-
saying it is. I'm just saying we wouldn't be able to exist if it weren't for being in a capitalistic society.
But that's the hard part, is that's why so many people are not able to like function. That's why you walk down the street and there's homeless tents. You don't see that in China.
Mm-mm.
You don't see homeless encampments in China.
But you see people peeing at the malls.
Not anymore. That was years ago.
That was during COVID. We're making everything sterile.
Yeah, it's 5 years. That's a millennial there. It really is. They're moving fast. I was watching this video on how like BYD, which is like their car company, is out surpassing Tesla.
Yeah,
And
I've read that too.
it's just in all other markets, and they can't do it here because America's afraid to bring in the Chinese vehicles
yep.
because
As
of,
they should be.
because of the data. But I don't know.
It's interesting.
It's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how other countries develop with AI and how we infuse it, and hopefully we don't make more people, you know.
And it's really sad too, because like even what we were taught, just like what we were actually taught before like AI and internet, thinking about like, I used to really truly believe that Africa was just like huts.
Okay.
Where Nigeria is so like rich. They've got malls. They've got, you know what I mean? Like I really just thought it was like Ebola. You know what I mean? Like, and that's really, really sad.
Yeah.
That is what I was taught. And the fact that we have access to TikTok
Yes.
to see other people's side of the world. When the
POVs
TikTok,
is crazy.
literally so crazy. When TikTok went black dark and to like be on Red Note or like to see
Yeah,
like
see the
apartments,
Chinese app.
and I was like, "You're paying what for a whole 3-bedroom to be able to look over Shanghai?" You know what I mean? Like, just even they have marble floors. You know what I mean? Like, it's insane to think that I was thinking like they're out there with the straw hats
In
farming.
the rice fields.
Yeah, like that is so sad that is my thinking. And it's like that in everyday life too. Everything, like I don't even realize how the system, like even in patriarchy, is so deeply bred inside me on every little thing.
Yeah. It's cool that like
really
the
sad.
technology and even chat like will give you these answers, and you could just constantly be taking in new information.
And this is, we could literally just Google something and get a whole different perspective and see somebody else's side.
Cultural
instead of-
brainwashing goes crazy.
Yeah.
It does. It does. Yeah, and I do think that there is like definitely a cohesive effort for like Americans to feel like America is the shit for sure. And part of it's true, but then to Kyla's point, it's like there's so many other beautiful places where
Yeah.
you can have so much abundance and live such a beautiful life too.
Yeah.
And they almost put me in like a state of fear, because I have like Danny talking about, oh, you could go to Brazil, and I'm like, not the Amazon, you know, there's spiders and like the jungle.
Yeah.
And that is because I've been taught for so long that like if you travel, you're gonna get mugged. You're
Yeah.
gonna, you know, if you travel, you're gonna get killed and kidnapped by the cartel.
For sure. There's this
That's
fear mongering that's like inaccurate.
insane. Just for me to be able to go, even if it's just like an Eastern European, it looks like the 1980s. They're gonna mug you and rob you or steal your identity. You know, Russian spies gonna get you. That's crazy.
Wild.
Wild.
Yeah, I think that it goes part and part. When you're away, you get to see all the amazing things. You know, there's nothing better than doing a 2-week trip and then going to a Target or a Super Walmart and you just walk around and you're like, I could do jumping jacks in the aisles.
Yeah.
And then when you're here, you're kind of like, there are a lot of things that aren't amazing about it.
Yeah,
It's a matter of perspective.
It is bittersweet for sure.
Yeah, when you were talking about you lost your passport in Brazil.
Yeah.
And then you just stormed into the capital.
Yeah.
Flip flops and all.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to the Brazilian embassy and then like there's like a huge line, probably like 3 hours long of people like dressed up, button ups, like really nice dress shoes, like putting on their Sunday best to try and get like a visa for like a 1-week trip to the US, or maybe they're trying to come here for school or something.
Waiting years.
And years, just like, and I mean hours on this day in the morning. I show up there like 7 in the morning, the line's like around the corner. And then I just walk up to the front. I say, I'm an American citizen. I lost my passport. They just move me straight to the front. I wait like half an hour inside. They just give me water, and then they just give me my passport, and these people wait another 2-3 hours inside.
Back.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm just like, dude, I'm so grateful to like have been a dual citizen. And that really gave me a lot of perspective.
Yeah, it's such a blessing to be able to be born here.
Exactly. America does have a lot going for it, but there's such beautiful things from other countries as well that I feel like get downplayed.
Yeah.
Or you don't really see it until you're there, you know? So it's a balance.
And when you're feeling like that, just talk to ChatGPT. It will allow you to
open your mind,
get some perspective.
Yeah. And I don't want it to make it seem like, oh God, I'm so like
you outside waiting for a green card.
Like I don't want it to make it seem like, oh, I'm just a spoiled American, like blah blah blah, because there are real things going on in the world 100%. Like even with my boyfriend who comes from the Middle East, and like I hear him every day, like you're so lucky to have a birth certificate. And like just to have that perspective of him being like a political refugee, and to understand like there are real events of like women who cannot even like talk to other women or like go out and shop on their own. And like I think about that stuff daily. Like if I walk into Target and I'm like, I am so blessed that I have my own bank account to like spend my own money.
You and Temu.
Yeah, and I'm serious, and that's like really crazy, but I'm so grateful that I'm able to think like that, because there's some people who don't.
Yeah.
There's really some people who just don't even think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective.
We're so blessed. We have so many tools at our disposal in this day and age, and it's about leveraging them in the right way, and using them as a tool instead of having the tool use you, you know?
100%.
And if you are looking for a tool to use, check out on cyclehealth.com. We don't have a chat feature yet.
You
Actually,
should develop one.
Yeah.
We have a chat feature, but it's a real
It's
person.
not like a, I'm going through a breakup and it can help you out.
But it will be soon.
That would be great.
Yeah, we got to talk to that kid.
What would our AI chatbot be called?
Katie?
I think it should be cycle something.
Maybe Michael with a Y.
Michael.
MYCLE.
MyCLE. You could do that.
Why does it have to be a man?
Doesn't.
Death to the patriarch. We don't have a chatbot yet, but we will soon. Coming soon. We'll put it on the long laundry list of things. But if you were looking for a mental health treatment and you need a little support, you could call us. You could give us a text, fill out a form, and we could try to help you get connected with a mental health professional. We will not connect you to an AI chatbot yet, potentially in the future, but as of right now, it's all humans, only humans. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us babble about AI and then inevitably going on a side tangent about communism. Always ends with communism.
I'm sorry.